So for this section of the lecture, I'm going to be discussing light linking. Light linking is basically the idea of us using different lights to affect different objects within the scene. Basically, this is something that doesn't happen in nature, but is essential when we're doing CG lighting. Basically, the idea is, okay, so let's use this as an example. So we've got these two pipes here. When we render them out, we'll see, they've got a little spotlight up here in the upper screen left, kind of wrapping around here. But let's say in this example, we like where the light is on this pipe, but we don't really like where it is on this one. We'd like to see it wrap around it just a little bit more. So what we're going to do, in order to do that, we have to create a second light, tell that light not to affect this object, but only to affect this one. So we do that by going into the editor here. We will duplicate this light by Control D. We will then look through the selected light, and we'll pivot it around just a little bit. So let's say around there. So you can see we've got the original spotlight here, spotlight 1. We've now pivoted spotlight 2 around a little bit more. Well, let's go back to our perspective view, and we'll go to the relationship editors and go to light centric. And as you can see, we've got spotlight 1 and spotlight 2. By default, everything is selected because out of the box, a light will affect everything within the scene. And then, but basically what we want to do here, again, we want the second spotlight that we created, spotlight 2, to affect the screen right object only. So, as you can see, on the left is pipe 1, on the right is pipe 2, you can see that over here. So, so we want spotlight 1 to affect pipe 1 and spotlight 2 to affect pipe 2. So we have spotlight 1 selected, uncheck pipe 2, spotlight 2 selected, uncheck pipe 1, open this back up, save it, run it, and we should see the change there. So that's just something I wanted to show you guys very quickly. Again, that's something that will come up on occasion, and it's just if you want a light to if one object is casting a shadow onto another and you don't want it to, and you want the light to ignore that object, light linking is a great tool to have at your disposal. Again, like anything else, in case you didn't notice a trend, anything else that exists in a 3D space that doesn't exist in the real world, you have to use very carefully, because very often you can light link your way into problems because you will create a light that only affects one object, and then that light isn't actually casting shadow on something. So just be a little careful when you're doing that.